Bonjour tout le monde! Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're doing amazing. I'm happy to see you today for another video. And for this week's video, we're gonna talk about something pretty accurate. We are right in the theme of the moment. Don't know if it's your specialty or not, but we're gonna talk about soccer. Why are we going to talk about soccer today? Because as you may know or not, soon it's going to be the Soccer World Cup. So, of course, if you're into it, it's a huge event. If you're not that interesting for you, but it is a huge celebration. No matter where you're from, I'm pretty sure most of the main countries are going to play during this Soccer World Cup. So I think it's an important and interesting topic. So we're going to talk about sport. We're going to talk about soccer today, and we're going to focus on the French team. We're going to talk about France, their relation to soccer. What is this celebration? What is exactly the vocabulary? We're going to learn everything about soccer today. So when you look at the title, you see that it's written FIFA, Coupe du Monde. FIFA is the name of the federation of the soccer, and Coupe du Monde means the word cup. And we're going to focus on the French team today. So here, table des matières. What are we going to see today? La Coupe du Monde. So the World Cup, what is it exactly? All the vocabulary related to that. Then we're going to focus on l'équipe de France, which is the French team. Le vocabulaire, main vocabulary related to that topic. Une petite histoire, a little story about the French team and an important moment for the French team and the French supporters. Les verbs that we can use, and of course, as usual, a little exercise to practice on the vocabulary that you just studied during this class. So, let's just start right now with the goals of this class, les objectifs du cours. First, of course, parler de football, being able to talk about soccer. Connaître l'équipe de France, to know a little more about the French soccer team. Utiliser des verbes simples, to use simple verbs, simple grammars. Comprendre un petit texte. Here you're going to have to understand a little text at the end and to answer some question, which is the final exercise. Let's just start straight away with la Coupe du Monde, the World Cup. So here, if you want to translate that literally, it is the Cup of the World. La Coupe du Monde. What is that? For those who don't know, what is it? La Coupe du Monde est une compétition de football, meaning the World Cup is a soccer or football competition. Keep in mind that football en français is the soccer. Elle a lieu tous les 4 ans, meaning it takes place every 4 years. Des équipes du monde entier jouent, meaning it's a worldwide event. All the main teams, it's like the main countries. We have a lot of different countries throughout the world are going to play. So everybody's playing for this World Cup. La France a gagné plusieurs fois, meaning the French team won multiple times. Beaucoup de personnes regardent les matchs. It is a super important event. A lot of people are watching it. People who are not especially into soccer during the year would tend to watch the game because it's not only just about soccer. Yes, it is because it's an important event, but it's also a super great way to gather together. Everybody's out on the street. We all just watch the soccer game. Like it's a big celebration, everybody's together, so it's pretty fun. Even if you're not really into soccer, I think you should watch it. Like for example, if you're with your family, okay, but if you want to be outside in a restaurant, in a bar, watch it, everybody's like so into it. It's a pretty good moment. So let's talk right now about the French team, which is l'équipe de France. L'équipe de France s'appelle aussi les Bleus. So what does that mean? That means that we have the French team. The players can change every 4 years. We have our main players, but sometimes it changes. But what sticks and what remains is the name. So we can call the French team l'équipe de France, l'équipe française, but they also have a little nickname, which is the blue, meaning les bleus. You know that maybe, if you don't know, I'm going to tell you, The French flag has three colors, blue, white, and red, and so les bleus is a reference to blue, which is a reference to France. Quelques joueurs célèbres. If you heard a little bit about soccer, you may have heard of those famous soccer players. Kylian Mbappé, Antoine Griezmann, Olivier Giroud. Those three players, main players for the French team when it comes to the World Cup, they played together for the previous ones. They're pretty famous and pretty good. Les joueurs portent un maillot bleu. Here, let's go back on the color blue. Reference to France, okay? And of course, if you want to see them on the field, just keep in mind that the players wear a blue jersey. So it's easy to distinguish them. Les France. Now, let's move on to the vocabulary, le vocabulaire, main vocabulary related to that topic. A player is un joueur. Un joueur. A ball, if you want to say a ball, is un ballon. I know there's a double L. When you practice pronunciation, you may know that when there's double L, we tend to pronounce the Y sound. This one you don't. So you just pretend when you say it that there's just one L and you say ballon. Un ballon. A match or a game is un match in French. A goal is un but. And in this one, you do pronounce your T. So you say un but is a goal. A goalkeeper is un gardien. Un gardien. And you can even say un gardien de but. Okay, then we have a team. Une équipe. Careful with this one. I know it's kind of tricky when you see the Q and the U. Always avoid the U. We have to place a U after the Q, but it's always mute. So we don't say équipe, we say équipe directly. And now some verbs. To win, gagner. To lose, perdre. To play, jouer. And a stadium is un stade. Okay, let's read them together and try to do it natural speed. Un joueur. Un ballon. Un match. Un but. Un gardien. Une équipe, and I'll link it. Une équipe, gagner, perdre, jouer, un stade. There you go. And now you have the main vocabulary to that topic. Now, a little history. What happened that year? Histoire en 2018. That year, what happened? And this year, France won the World Cup. Yeah! La France gagne la Coupe du Monde. La finale est contre la Croatie, meaning the final was against Croatia. Les joueurs français jouent très bien. French players played really well. La France gagne 4-2, meaning France won 4-2. Les supporters sont très heureux. Of course, fans, supporters are so happy. If you were in France at that time of the year, the moment when that final happened, it was crazy. Everybody was in the street. I was outside with some friends looking at the soccer game on a big screen in the park. Everybody celebrated. Everybody was like doing some noises. It was crazy. So that was a really cool memory. So we won that year. Hopefully, we're going to win it again. La renommée. Pourquoi l'équipe de France est célèbre? Here, why is the French team so famous? L'équipe joue bien. Okay, of course, here we can say that the team plays pretty well. Les joueurs sont rapides. Here, look at my adjective rapide. It's plural because it's related to my noun les joueurs, which is players plural. Meaning the players are pretty fast. We're known for that. They play well and they run pretty quick on the field. La France a 2 étoiles sur le maillot. What does that mean? When you win the World Cup, to be able to show that you won, you have a star on your jersey. The French team has 2. 2 étoiles, 2 stars on the jersey. Beaucoup de fans aiment cette équipe. A lot of fans, a lot of people love this team. Now let's focus on the verbs. Les verbes. Jouer. Jouer is to play. You want to conjugate that? I play soccer. Je joue au football. Gagner. Gagner is to win. La France gagne le match. Meaning France win either the match or the game. Aimer, to love. J'aime le football. I love soccer. When it comes to football, in French we say football. If you want to cut it short to sound more natural, we tend to just pronounce the first syllable, which is foot. So we say j'aime le foot, same as j'aime le football. Regarder, which is to watch. Nous regardons le match, meaning we watch the game. Supporter, to support. Ils supportent la France. They support France. They encourage, they motivate the French team. Ils supportent la France. And now you have the main vocabulary, a little bit of history, and grammar, of course, as always. So now it's your turn to practice and to shine. I made you here pretty simple vocabulary that we'll learn in this video, and you have to place them at the right place, meaning at the right sentence. Let's just read firstly those 4 words. We have ballon, gagne, équipe, match. And you have to place those 4 words in the right spot. Let's read the phrases together, and you're gonna have to just place the right word. La France, la Coupe du Monde en 2018. Numéro 2. Un joueur joue avec un... And you complete. Numéro 3. Les Bleus sont une... And last one. Nous regardons le... Pronunciation-wise, try to do the same as me, meaning when you have a word finishing with a consonant and the next one starting with a vowel, you connect. Look at the second one. Un joueur joue avec un. Avec un. With a connected. Avec un. Next one. Les Bleus sont une. Pronounce your T with the U. Sont une. And that is pretty much it for today's video. I hope that you guys liked it. If you did, please don't forget, as always, to put a little thumbs up and a little comment. I'm reading everything, so it's always cool to see that you guys liked it. And last but not least, same as usual, if you want to practice even more on your French vocabulary, French oral understanding, we made those weekly challenges that are related on the same topic as the weekly's video. So those challenges for this week will be about soccer and la Coupe du Monde. So if you want to learn even more vocabulary, try to look for some good videos about it. Make sure that you access the link to that. It's pretty cool. Of course, it's just challenges that you can do on your own. So there's nothing to be worried about. It's just new vocabs and new videos about a specific topic. So I think you should try it. I hope that you guys liked it. I'm wishing you all a good end of your week, and I'm seeing you next week for another video. Salut!